I am autistic. So is Sheldon Cooper, and there are issues with this. Obviously, autism isn't something that needs to be cured, fixed, or hidden, but the friends in Big Bang Theory don't seem to get that. They make Sheldon's symptoms of ASD the butt of their jokes nearly every episode. Sheldon doesn't get sarcasm. He struggles to express his emotions, he likes structure, he's a rigid thinker, he doesn't like physical contact, and he has hardships with intimacy. On top of this, like the autistic stereotype we all know and love, he is a savant in math and science. Sheldon's lack of self-awareness is the foundation for many, albeit distasteful, jokes in the series. Now, remember when I said that Sheldon was, without a doubt, autistic? Technically, according to canon, he's not. Kind of, just look at him. He definitely is, yet he's not. And this is where we start to have problems. By applying autistic symptoms to a canonically neurotypical character, and then making fun of said character, Big Bang Theory essentially says, but we're not being ableist, he's not autistic, see? Or, not touching, can't get mad. Even though they are actively making fun of symptoms that are autistic. It's a cheap way to get laughs and to avoid writing an in-depth, nuanced autistic character. Of course, there's the argument that Sheldon isn't autistic, but just an asshole, which I understand. But all of the shown instances arise from what? Sheldon's underdeveloped social skills and his low self-awareness, which are stereotypically autistic. You may have noticed I keep saying stereotypically a lot. This is because I'm trying to emphasize that autistic people are not all like Sheldon Cooper. Personally, I suck at math. Can't do fractions for the life of me. So when I say that Sheldon's problematic behavior is autistic, please know I am not excusing it, but simply explaining. Maybe I'm being oversensitive, a crybaby, a snowflake. But jokes have to have a punchline. And what's the punchline here? Sheldon's poor social skills. Sheldon's autism. Autism isn't hurtful. Autism isn't offensive. And autistic representation in the Big Bang Theory sucks. So I figured I would end the video on a high note. Let's talk about some of my favorite autistic characters. Now, because I haven't really seen a lot of shows with autistic characters, I'll only be covering 2 since I want to keep this video short. But number 1 is Donnie from Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Donnie's special interest is science and technology, which I know is overused, but hear me out. His special interest isn't his defining personality trait. He's sarcastic, witty, good in combat, and he genuinely cares for his brothers. His autism isn't the punchline for jokes, and his brothers actually accommodate his needs rather than scrutinizing them. He's shown to have sensory issues too, which is a detail often missed when autistic characters are written into media. Donnie's autism isn't used as an offensive tool or an excuse within the show either. He's just a silly, stimming little guy, that's all. Ron Corsillo, a writer for the show, was asked on Twitter about the autistic headcanon for Donnie, to which he answered, "I certainly think he's on it somewhere," meaning the spectrum. Anyways, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a really good show, and I'd highly recommend watching it if you're searching for some good autistic representation. Moving on. Norma from Dead End Paranormal Park. Norma is a 17-year-old canonically autistic Pakistani girl whose special interests include Pauline, a theme park mascot, and all things paranormal. She later develops a crush on her friend Badia over the course of the show. Queer autistic characters are few and far between, so it's imperative to handle them with care whenever they are written. Which Norma was. She doesn't like change and only engages in physical contact with those she's comfortable with. Although her humor is dry, she has plenty of moments where she exhibits a more playful, whimsical side, which I thought was nice to show that, autistic people are people and we're dynamic. There's a really touching scene where she comes home from quitting her job and her mom is trying to bond with her over Pauline, which isn't her special interest anymore. She gives short responses and takes leave to her room. But the most important scene for Norma, in my opinion, is in an episode where a being traps the characters in their fear worlds. The environment twists and morphs, everything changes. Except for Norma's. Because, quote, the real world is her fear world. This was really relatable for me and truly hit home. If the show hadn't been cancelled, I'd definitely still be watching it. So there you go. My review of autistic characters in modern media. What did you think? Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.